Are we the assholes for wanting to ask my husband's family to go outside to smoke? My husband, 28M, and I, 27F, have been invited to his aunt and uncle's house for Thanksgiving this year, along with my father-in-law's Fael immediate family. The uncle is Fiel's brother, to help connect things. My husband's parents are divorced, so the holidays consist of mostly stress, running around to everyone's celebration, and, without a doubt, someone being upset they didn't get enough time. Add that to now having our first child, 16 Mo, that everyone wants to see and celebrate with, and we've got ourselves a pretty large crap show. That being said, we've been invited to go to his uncle's for Thanksgiving this year, and they live out of state. This eliminates the requirement of running around, which my husband really hates, so that alone makes him want to go. However, his aunt and uncle smoke cigarettes in their house. We went for Thanksgiving 2 years ago, while I was pregnant, and they were smoking while sitting right next to me. To those who may be thinking, maybe they didn't know, we told them in September when we found out, and I was almost 20 weeks and showing at Thanksgiving. So they knew. Anyway, we've previously mentioned the smoking to Fiel, who has been the one communicating between us and the uncle, and he said that they wouldn't smoke around said child. For those who know, and maybe those that don't, being in a different room doesn't negate being affected by the smoke. It makes everything smell like cigarettes. You can still be inhaling it. I personally get heinous migraines from it. And the science is in. We know it's extremely harmful for children. So it's not great, and we don't want to put our child in that kind of environment. We don't feel like we can ask them to smoke outside, though. It will likely cause an issue, given that any previous request for accommodations, such as asking to be able to spend time with my family and miss some of their celebration, resulted in toxic conflict. We also feel it may be disrespectful to ask them to change how they operate in their own home. I've always been taught that you should accommodate the guests you invite into your space, and therefore feel that we should be able to ask this of them, especially since we're asking with the health of our child in mind, and not because we just want to be difficult. I feel I should also add that respectfully declining the invitation in the interest of the health of our child will likely also not go over smoothly. Any invitation, big or small, that we have declined previously, regardless of the reason, has been met with hostility. It usually consists of both aggressive verbal conflicts and emotional manipulation. So it feels a bit like, unless we just shut up and go, we're screwed no matter what we do. I apologize for the lengthy post. I wanted to make sure I gave enough detail for others to understand. Please help. We're stressed and don't know what to do or how to handle the situation. Are we the assholes if we ask them to smoke outside or in the garage while we're there? Are we the assholes if we decline and stay home? Send help. Update. A few things. First, thank you to everyone who commented. We found it really helpful, and some have even been educational. Sometimes going to your friends who will always take your side just isn't enough, so it's nice to know that there are many strangers who think we're not insane. So thank you. Second, I asked my parents' opinion on the situation in the interest of ensuring I didn't misunderstand the lesson I learned in childhood, i.e., accommodate the guests you invite into your space. Essentially, they said the same thing the rest of you did. We can't demand that they do anything within their own home, and we definitely can't ask upon arriving on their doorstep, which was never the plan. Some of you commented that we were well within our right to ask, as long as we did so in advance. I should have clarified that that was our intention, which is why we're asking now. Third, I asked my brother's opinion as well, because he's really good at looking at situations from all sides and providing an unbiased opinion. Again, he said the same things you all did, so that makes us feel better as well. Lastly, there were many of you who said we need to grow backbones or be adults, etc. While you are correct and we agree, the development of backbones is a current work in progress. The toxicity and manipulation that occurs with this side of his family in particular is a fairly recent revelation for the both of us. Our eyes were not open to this behavior until I was pregnant, and our priorities shifted from appeasing they to said child. So we're still in the process of learning to identify the manipulation as it is ever-changing as we continue to be resistant, and how to handle the situation. While I am well-versed in dealing with toxic family members and their tantrums, thanks Mom, my husband is not. We unfortunately cannot just turn off all 25 years of training he received to appease and pacify them and instantly be good at putting our foot down. We're getting there. Hubby's in therapy, and it's helping a lot. But the holidays are especially difficult, so we needed a little extra help. As of right now, I think our plan is to decline the invitation and see the families we have here while doing our best to keep our kiddo on schedule. The more I read your comments about second and third hand smoke, the less inclined we are to going. We're still stressed, but feel a bit better knowing we have people on our side. Update to come on their reaction to the declined invitation. Final update. Again, thank you to everyone who commented and supported us. It really helps to know that our choices are correct when we're constantly told we're in the wrong. Second, hubby called them on Tuesday. It was supposed to have been a team effort. Him tackling these things alone has led them to believe that he's just parroting my words and not that we make these decisions together, thus aiding in painting me as the bad guy. This was discussed and remedied. Anywho, hubby called and stated, "We would love to come and see you for the holidays, but we don't want to put our kid in that kind of environment and expose him to those kinds of things. We know that that's how you choose to live your life, so we're going to respect that and politely say no thank you." They then returned with an offer not to smoke in the house and to deep clean before we arrived. Honestly, we're absolutely floored. Never in a million years did we think they would offer that, let alone do so without conflict or resistance. While I'm sure there will be things said behind our backs or dirty looks shared while we're not in the room, we don't really care. If it's not important enough to say to my face, I don't need to know about it. At least dirty looks won't give my kid diseases. We'll see if that actually do like they said. So maybe it's not the last update. Relevant comments. Chris and Bliss, we'll see how that turns out. One thing before y'all travel there, ask aka remind them if they cleaned. Also be prepared to just get a hotel for the night and likely head back home because they didn't follow through. OOP. That's the plan. Plus, I plan to recruit sister-in-law, stepmom, and the grandmother who all hate the smoking as well and will be glad to not be around it. They'll say something if they forget to go outside, sometimes snarky, or smoke in the car. Secondhand smoked tobacco or marijuana exposure is a leading cause of pediatric ear infections. OOP. We won't be in the same car as them, we're taking our own, as our kiddo still needs a car seat and we have no interest in taking it out of a bunch of different cars.